So over the past few weeks, I watched all 5 seasons of Aggretsuko. Now, this wasn't something I was really interested in watching for myself. I watched it with my daughter who was already a fan, and I've got to admit, I came around, it grew on me. I can say today that I'm a fan, and I can't believe I'm talking about a show from Sanrio, the same people who brought us Hello Kitty and all those characters. But Aggretsuko is something different. It's something that's really aimed at adults, and it's just so darn relatable as an adult for so many reasons. I think that's what really makes it so special and so popular. The series follows Retsuko, a lovable little red panda. She is in her mid-20s. She's working at a job she hates for a boss she hates. Her mom's always pressuring her to get married when she's single, and her life is kind of directionless. She doesn't know where she's going or what she's doing, and she's just really unhappy with her life, and she doesn't quite know what to do with herself. She has a little secret. The secret is she loves death metal, and she loves nothing more than after a hard day at work or after whatever trauma she's going through, than to go to a karaoke bar and rent a private room and then just scream at the top of her lungs some death metal songs. She's got this crazy growl she can do, and she just vents it all out. She lets out all the stress of whatever is bothering her, and then she leaves that room and she's back to this polite, mild-mannered, hardworking, kind of quiet soul, and it's back to business as usual, back to the job she hates, back to her regular life. It's fun to see the face she puts on for the world versus the face she puts on in private. And I think that's very real, because we all present ourselves a certain way at work or with our friends or with our families. And then we have, how many secrets do we have in private? How many dreams and aspirations and talents do we keep hidden and locked down deep inside? How many of us might have shower concerts or sing in the car or do this and that, but we would never ever do that in front of someone else, right? How many of us get walked on all day long at our jobs and we hate our jobs, but we show up every day with a smile and we put our heads down and we do our work? Man, it's so relatable, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of great supporting characters as well. You have characters in here that you will hate in the beginning, but over time you see their characters develop, you see them grow, you see what's driving them, and they really grow on you too, and you learn to appreciate them, and the character development is just spot on here. You really come to know and love each of these characters, and the thing is, nobody's perfect in this. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's got real life, very human problems. Even though these are animals, these are cute little animal characters, they are very, very human and also relatable. Nobody's perfect. They all have their quirks, they all have their issues, they all make mistakes. It's all the more to love, and Retsuko's no exception. And she might be struggling with her relationships, she might be struggling with her own insecurities, she might be struggling at work. All the weight of the world might be resting on her shoulders, and she just wants to go hide and scream, and yet she does what she has to do. And oh man, it's really good. There's a lot more than meets the eye here. I know it looks like a cutesy little show, but no, it's good on so many levels. It's very funny. It's, I think, a comedy at heart. And these characters get in some crazy situations, whether Retsuko's dating a rich tech mogul or joining an idol group or running for political office. All these crazy scenarios take place, but you believe it somehow. And I think that's the beauty of animation, right? Is that it allows us to believe in things that are so far-fetched sometimes, but somehow it all makes sense. The writing's very good here. There's a lot of life lessons here, and I don't know how much I learned from this, but I felt a lot. I felt a lot in this. Who doesn't or hasn't ever had a job that they hated? Who hasn't had family drama? Who hasn't had relationship problems, loneliness, money problems, addictions? It's all kind of addressed here and represented here, and you just feel all of it, and you feel for these characters, and it might remind you of yourself in some ways. Characters who are dealing with being old and single, and characters who can't provide for their families, and it gets really deep. It really does sometimes. It gets really deep. And on the surface though, it's just a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. Like I said, this definitely is a show for older audiences despite its looks. My daughter's a teenager, so she's at an okay age to watch it. But yeah, for teenagers and adults, I think this is a great show. There's more than meets the eye here. A great look into humanity, and it's a lot of fun along the way too. Each season is only a few hours. They're like 10 episodes at 15 minutes each. Usually the finale is a little bit longer. Definitely a good watch. Give it some time, give it a chance to grow on you. I feel like each season gets a little bit more interesting as you get to know these characters more and more, and we see them in more scenarios, and it's a very fun show, but also very deep sometimes. It'll surprise you for sure. I think that's all I have to say about Aggretsuko. Let me know your opinions. Have you seen Aggretsuko? What did you think of it? Was it what you expected it to be? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching today. I'll have some more anime reviews and discussions coming up real soon, so thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Take care.